Hello, my name is Daniel Garrison, and this is my final project for Stat 430. This is a Shiny app that does two things. The first is it plots player statistics by year. It does this across three categories. We have batting, we have pitching, and we have fielding. And this allows us to visualize trends over the course of a player's career as well as compare players against each other. And the second thing this app does is it models all these same player statistics as a function of player salary. This allows us to visualize as well as draw conclusions about which statistics are modeled well by player salary. This gives us insights into which statistics are predictable by any given team, as well as which ones they're willing to pay for. And so the first thing I'm going to do is a little bit of a code walkthrough, and then afterwards I will show the app in action. So the first thing I did is a little bit of data wrangling. All of this is done on the layman data set. We are only considering seasons after the year 2000, and we are only considering players with the minimum amount of at-bats or innings pitched. We have all the usual statistics: hits, home runs, walks, strikeouts. We have OPS, slugging percentage. For pitching, we have wins, losses, strikeouts, walks, ERA. And for fielding, we have errors, putouts, and assists. Um, Here are some variables for UI purposes. For team choices, we have MLB, which is not separated by team. It allows us to look at data from players across the league. Here's our UI section. We have some dynamic input, which I will show below. Here's our plots, which use dynamic input to change the plot based on user input. We have batting, here's pitching, here's fielding. And then here are our functions for modeling salary. One thing I'd like to point out is we are using logarithmic functions in our salary data. This is because the difference between a superstar salary and an average player's salary can be orders of magnitude. Therefore, I decided to use a logarithmic function to model our data. And I will go ahead and start the app. So here's what it looks like on startup. You can see our 6 tabs. We can go ahead and throw a few players in there. We'll throw Judge, we'll throw Stanton, and we'll throw Pools. So you can obviously see the difference in length of their careers. You can see when their primes may have been, their good years, their bad years, what years they may have been injured. You can see this across all types of different statistics. Obviously, you can do the same for pitching. We can break it down by team. I'll go to the Cardinals. We'll throw Wainwright, throw Matt or Carpenter, and it's just a cool little function that allows us to compare players against each other. We will move on to our salary data now. Here is our salary data across the entire league for the year 2000s in home runs. We can see a clear upward trend. We have relevant information on our bottom right. We have the slope, we have the R squared, and we have the p-value for the statistic in question. As you can see in the year 2000, we have a positive slope, and we have a statistically significant trend here for the the salary coefficient. And yeah, it's nice to see trends per year if teams get better or worse at you know paying players that have productive output. And just a few interesting things of note here. Obviously, you can see home runs acts pretty well as expected. Some years have better trends than others. For strikeouts, we would perhaps on first thought expect to see a negative trend, but it seems we have statistically insignificant trends at best or positive trends at worst. One thing this might be a result of is that better players have more at bats and therefore more strikeouts. For pitching, another interesting one is ERA. We would expect ERA to have a negative trend because better pitchers have lower ERAs, and we can see that over some years, although it's not statistically significant. But other years, we actually see a positive trend. See 2016, we have a slightly positive slope. So I'm not actually sure why that happens. It'd be interesting to explore that further. And yeah, it's pretty fun to play around with different stats. some areas of improvement for the app may be if we go back to the team statistics for players. Let's go back to the Cardinals. Let's throw Pujols up there. So Pujols actually left the team and then came back in 2022 for his last year. And as you can see, it doesn't separate the data by different teams. I tried to do this, but it was a little too complicated. I tried to have different colors for the lines. So that's one area of possible improvement. Um, Another one would be looking at different types of models for the salary data. I'd like to see if some of them are more linear than they are logarithmic or otherwise. But other than that, yeah, here's the app.